I'm Cammie. I've been going to Brooklife for about a little over a year, actually. It's been such a blessing in my life to find this church and to finally have a place to come and find peace in my mind, even just for the hour and a half on Sundays that I get to come and sit here. Growing up, I was definitely not raised in a family of faith. And then once I got a little bit older, I started staying at my grandma's, and there was a church that my best friend went to that was like 30 minutes away. And that was really like my home church. It was called Faith Center, and it was where I learned how to really walk with God. When I was so young, I was 21, and I got engaged to my junior high sweetheart, and we were going to get married and start a family. And he was very strong in his faith too, but he was Catholic. And I felt like getting married, I really wanted to form a strong, united front, because I wanted to set an example for my kids that set them up what I thought was going to be the best way possible for them to grow a strong relationship with God. And I thought that that was just going to be a lot easier accomplished if we were all on the same page. And so I, during my engagement, converted to Catholicism so that I could get married in the Catholic Church and have that sacrament. And I just realized right away that it wasn't my home. I never felt like a great connection there. I went to Mass every Sunday and just never left feeling like I had received some really great message that was impacting my life and helping me along my journey. And I always just felt kind of lost. And then there came a point when I just kind of stopped even believing in faith. I hate saying that I stopped believing in God. I said I stopped believing in God at one time, but I hate to think that that was true. But it might have been true. I ended up getting divorced about 4 years ago, and I started I knew that I had lost sight of who I was. And so I started trying to put back the pieces of my life and get myself headed in a positive direction. So I concentrated on my career, and I found an amazing job, and I was finally in a comfortable place, like financially. And then I found an amazing home for my kids, and I got my kids adjusted to like being in a divorced family, and they felt safe and secure again. They knew that we were where we were going to be, and we could start building happiness again. And as I'm putting all these pieces back together and thinking, okay, I'm figuring this out. Like, I'm such a strong person. I'm so smart. But the whole time I was still just missing something. A girlfriend of mine had come to Brooklife for a divorce care class, and then she really enjoyed that. So she decided she wanted to come to church here. And she came and she loved it. And so she started asking me every Sunday, do you want to go with me? I love this church. You'll love it. So I call my friend that Sunday and I tell her, okay, I'm ready. I want to go to church with you. I call her this Saturday night before, and she's like, oh man, I'm going to be out of town. And I'm like, what? Okay, well, I've already decided I'm going, so I'm still going to go. So I get up on Sunday and I come here, and I feel really nervous, and it feels like an awkward thing to come in this building where I know no one. I've never been in this space. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And I walk in and there's nobody around, but I can see in the cafe TV that there's already church going, and I'm like, And in the truest nature of who I am, I showed up early. I came at the wrong time, but the service was going, and there was this woman at the front desk. Her name was Joni, and I'm awful at names, but I will never forget her name. And she asked me if I was new, and I told her yeah, and she's like, well, you're kind of early, which I had figured out already. So she walked me around. She took me on a tour of Brooklife, and then I just kind of sat and waited for service to start. And then everybody came out, and I decided to go in and find my seat. And I walk in, and I just pick the first seat to the right of the door because I feel embarrassed walking up to the front. And I sit down, and I'm just kind of waiting, and I have no idea what to expect. And I'm just just have like this nervous excitement. And the first song starts, the band gets up, they start playing, and they start singing, and I know the song. I sing it on Caleb all the time, and I immediately get goosebumps, and I have tears running down my face. I'm not crying, but there's tears running down my face, and it's because this is where I belong. This is what I've been missing, and this is my home. And I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out. But I've come ever since. I do miss some Sundays, but very rarely, and it has to be something really important for me to schedule it over coming here. One of the great things about Brooklife, and one of my favorite things, is that they're so kind and so welcoming, and I've never once felt like I didn't belong here or I was an outsider. And I really feel like I could bring anyone to this church and that they would get something great out of it, and that they would feel welcome, and that they would love it here. I just feel like that's such an unusual thing. I've spent a lot of time sitting in church where I felt like I was being judged and not good enough, and that is never an impression that anyone will get here at Brooklife.